Here's the thing, healthcare. When the Obamacare thing was passed, states have filed lawsuit. Well, not all of 22 filed lawsuit. A number filed lawsuit to say it's unconstitutional to tell any American what he has to buy. It's unconstitutional. In other words, the Commerce Clause in the Constitution says, I cannot tell Jenna that she has to buy that pink sweater. Nobody should be able to tell me that I have to buy health care. Now, there should be a balance to that. If somebody says, and many of you your age do, when you graduate from high school or college, most people will tell you in the state of Kansas, and this is a 2-year-old stat, that a lot of people on one side would say, well, there's 14% uninsured or underinsured in the state of Kansas. Do you realize that 10 to 12% of those were people that had just graduated from college and didn't feel like they're going to live forever? And they don't need health insurance, okay? That's how you can manipulate, in my opinion, manipulate a statistic. Now, do we want to, people that are uninsured or underinsured, do we want to help them? Yes. But my contention is we don't want to expand government this big to take care of this many, right? We want to do what we can do for this many. Yeah.
The thing at healthcare that is, I find frustrating is those people who can are the ones who get the shaft
Right.
to a degree. For example, Chris and I have healthcare through Tabor College, and that's what Chris is about.
Right.
And so, we pay our deductible and we all that. And with the Obama administration now has changed the way you can use your flex spending dollars. Right? So here I am, I'm paying my health care, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I use the flex spending, which the government says I can set aside that money.
Right.
But now I have stipulations on how I can spend that money.
Right.
Which to me is frustrating because
Yeah.
that's my money to begin with. I understand
That's
I've
right.
had these guidelines.
Somebody's always going to like your idea, and somebody's always going to hate your idea. And then there's going to be a bunch of people in the middle that really don't know. But the argument can be framed in such a way that it makes you look bad, or it makes you look like you're this way when you're not this way. You know what I'm saying? So my job partly is to let people know why I vote. During one of the elections, they said the argument for my opponent, or people that wanted my opponent to win, was Marc Rhoades voted against scholarship money for veterans returning from Iraq. Okay? That was a true statement. The context was that it was a budget amendment, all right, on the day that we worked the full budget for the state of Kansas. We started the day, I think it was $144 million overspent. So it'd be like you having $1,000 in your bank, and you went out in one day, or before you even went out that day, you already had $1,500 worth of bills to pay off with that $1,000. Okay? All I said was, whatever the amendments are, if they have any new spending, I can't vote for them, right? There was 35 amendments. If they had added up all 35 of those amendments, at the end of the day, we would have spent about $350 million over what we had to spend. Okay, so it's like you have $1,000 in the bank, you've already spent $1,500 that you don't have, $500 that you don't have, and then you go out the same day and you say, oh, by the way, I'll just spend another $1,000. Okay, I didn't want to do that, so I said no on all those amendments. I said, I pushed the red button 35 times because I said that's a good thing, but if you can find the money to pay for that, I'll vote for it. If you can't, because you want all these other things, then I have to say no.
Do you think that the casino revenue will help balance the Kansas budget?
I mean, it's already helped a little bit, but we only have one casino, and that's the one out in Dodge City. The Dodge City people really wanted that casino. The Wichita people and the Wellington people don't necessarily want it, right? But when they opened up expanded gambling for the whole state, that gave casinos the opportunity to kind of go do what they wanted to do. And if they came out with $250 million, they could set up. If we get more that come into the state, yeah, it can be helpful. One of the problems, and I'll caveat this, one of the problems with legislatures has notoriously been that when they see a new revenue fee coming up and it grows in that silo, in that that account, they'll sweep it for other stuff. They'll decide, you know what, we're going to use it for X, but now there's a lot in there, so we're going to use it for these other things. I don't really like that. You know, if we set up a statute to say it needs to be used for these 3 things, then we need to use it for those 3 things. If Kansas really was a destination site, like Las Vegas, then some people can make the argument, well, we're getting money from other states that are coming into Kansas. I am a little leery that Kansas could ever be a destination casino state. I can push the red or the green button and vote my conscience because I know that I told you where I stand. So that's more of a statesman's focus, and I like that better.